Hi friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Olivia, and if you've never seen my face before, you can consider me your fragrance fairy godmother. Mother's Day is in a little bit over a week. Do you guys have your gifts picked out yet? I am looking. My brother already messaged me and said what he is getting, so that way, you know, we can kind of coordinate a little bit. We don't overlap. Do you do that with your siblings too? But for those of you who are still deciding on what you want to get mom, I wanted to offer up some fragrances that I thought would make really great gifts for Mother's Day or to wear on Mother's Day if you're a mama yourself. Now, obviously fragrance is something that comes down to individual taste, but I've offered up quite a big variety of fragrances today, so that way at least if you know the category she enjoys, she might like something off of this list. And I'm very excited to announce that today's video is in partnership with Maxaroma. Now, this is a very exciting collaboration for me because before I was ever a perfume reviewer, I was ordering my stuff on Maxaroma, and I think there's a few things that sets Maxaroma apart. First off is their variety. They have so many different fragrances. Anything from niche to designer, even hard to find fragrances, I always find them on Maxaroma at a good price. Secondly, their customer service is unmatched. I can't tell you how many times I would email about a product or a package and they would get back to me super quickly. And for those of you who are like me, who wait till the last minute to buy gifts, they have 2-day free shipping. And on top of all of that, you earn points with every fragrance that you purchase. And for your convenience, every fragrance that I talk about today is going to be on a Maxaroma landing page that's going to be linked in the description box down below. So that way you don't have to sort through the video. You can just click on there and see my entire list. And for those of you who are still waiting to get a gift from mom, I'm going to have a little bit of a discount code linked in the box below, so make sure you check that out. Thank you to you guys and Maxaroma, and now let's get into the fragrances. Starting off today with Vala by Perfumes For Mother'S. Now, you guys have heard me sing the praises of this fragrance over and over and over, and it deserves it, okay? Because in my opinion, this is the best Parfums de Marly scent. Yes, I like Delina Exclusive better, but this, it can't even compare. This is the tippity top. The way I would describe this is sparkling and effervescent and angelic. You got some tanginess in the opening, starting with bergamot and white peach. That tanginess actually lasts throughout the duration of the wear, which citrus can usually fade off quite quickly, but this is a beast. When I wear this on clothes, it lasts 12 hours plus. Then in the heart, you have some white florals that smell very fresh and smooth and never too heavy. But then in the base, you get a clean, fluffy, smooth musk that kind of reminds me of the musk that you're going to get in Another 13, but this is much more feminine and ethereal. It's floral, a little bit tangy, sparkling, and just pretty. It is just a pretty fragrance. This is a special occasion fragrance. It smells like a bridal fragrance, and I think that this one would be a very safe bet for mom. Clean, fresh, feminine, long-lasting, and smells super high quality without being too challenging smelling. I think a lot of people would enjoy this and not find it too much. Next is Ylang Gold by Micallef. This is a creamy, dreamy, tropical-esque fragrance that's not going to smell like sunscreen. Yes, you have a coconut in here, but I want you to think of coconut cream, not like coconut water that you're going to get a copper tone sort of scent. And that creamy, milky velvetiness is supported by vanilla and by sandalwood, giving it a lot of warmth in the base. But this is set off and made a little bit more bright with some tropical florals of ylang ylang. And ylang ylang to me can almost have this slightly banana custard sort of feel to it. So there is something slightly gourmand about this, yet floral, yet tropical, and very creamy and silky. But what I like about this is it's definitely not too sweet or too creamy where it's going to be sticky and cloying. There are some lighter elements to help brighten this up, such as sage and mint, but those are definitely more in the background and just serve to brighten it up a little bit. So if you know your mom is not really into super floral fragrances and would rather want something that is tropical and smooth and creamy, maybe even a little bit edible, this one is going to be a really safe bet. This next one is a fragrance that I actually discovered when I was at the Scent Expo in Milan back in March, and this is called Baie Rouge by Maybe Sue. Now this one is going to be perfect for those of you whose mothers always wore a signature full face of makeup, because this right here is the holy grail of lipstick fragrances. This has that signature red lipstick scent coming from some iris that's going to smell like vintage cosmetics. If your mom is a fan of Glossier You and you're looking to upgrade her, I would definitely go with this. In the beginning, you are getting pink pepper similar to Glossier You, but you're also getting a distinct citrus. Then in comes that beautiful powdery iris touch that gives it a soft femininity, yet a delicate floral that's warmed up with some amber. But it's the dry down on this that really gets me, because this is not just a linear iris fragrance. In the base, you're getting some tonka bean, you're getting vanilla, but you're getting a patchouli and cedar that gives this a little bit of earthiness, a little bit of a dry characteristic, and makes it smell very elegant and very refined. So for those of you whose moms were always into her signature red lipstick, this is going to be for her 100%, because what starts off as a simple iris vintage makeup fragrance turns into something super elegant and has a little bit of power behind it. She's a sneaker. This one's a sneaker. Now I know for this next one that you guys are going to think that I'm absolutely insane, but just hear me out. I've had a change of heart. Black Opium Les Parfums by YSL. Now, I wasn't particularly a fan of the original Black Opium, but when they came out with Les Parfums, I changed my mind. Now, hear me out, hear me out. I know that I talk smack on the original, but the Les Parfums version is such a beautiful vanilla fragrance, because this is not just your flat, linear cupcake sort of vanilla, but rather a dark and sumptuous and sexy vanilla. There's 3 different kinds of vanilla in this, so this is much more vanilla forward and very multifaceted, but that warmth is coming from some cinnamon and a bit of coffee, but it's not overwhelming. It just serves to give it a little bit of a dark backdrop. And I find the white florals in this to be much more smooth. So you do have jasmine, you do have orange blossom, but they don't come off quite as sharp as the original. This is as if you took the original and made it so much better with extra vanilla, dialed back those white florals and made them a little bit more soft and delicate. Now I know that this is a fragrance that's easily overlooked, but if we're trying to get mom some compliments, talk about compliments, every time I wear this fragrance, someone asks what I'm wearing. This is effective. Say what you're gonna say, but this is effective. And next is Intense Cafe by Montal. Similar to Black Opium Les Parfums, this is also going to be a vanilla, coffee, and floral fragrance, but this, instead of white florals, is a very intense rose that smells velvety and rich. And in contrast, the coffee in this is going to be much more dominant, almost like a dark roasted black coffee. And then in the base, you're going to get a smooth, sweet vanilla, amber, and musk. And this is going to be good for mothers who want something that's warm, rich, robust, and super outspoken. This is a loud fragrance, but it seems like a lot of people like this because this has stood the test of time. This has been popular for so long. So if you haven't tried this yet, you definitely need to get your nose on it. This is one of the first fragrances I bought during my fragrance journey, and if you are a rose lover, there is truly nothing like this fragrance. Now, if you need a safe bet and you have absolutely no idea what mom likes and you need something that is just a staple, we're going with Irresistible by Givenchy. Now, this is another fragrance that a lot of people are going to say is a little bit too predictable, maybe a little bit basic, but this has a special place in my heart because this is simply effective. There is something sweet and innocent and pretty and delicate about this fragrance. You've got some sweetness in the beginning coming from some pear, and you have a really cozy ambrette and musk combination that's supported with some really sheer florals of iris and rose. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit powdery and soapy, it's very sheer florals, and is an understated fragrance for those of you looking for something that is classy, elegant, and easygoing. And I wore this fragrance to my friend's birthday, and almost every single woman there asked if they could put some on. That's why I got a good little dent in my bottle here. So maybe it is simple, but is she effective? Absolutely. Now I'll give you fair warning. This one is not necessarily a safe bet. This is going to be for those of you whose mothers are a little bit more of a risk taker. So this is Pas Ce Soir Extrait by BDK. This is a fruity fragrance, but this is not a fruity fragrance done in a way that is predictable whatsoever. This one is a little bit bizarre. In the beginning, you're going to get something that's a little bit punchy and a little bit spicy coming from ginger and black pepper. And then you're going to get quite a bit of fruitiness. You're getting pear, you're getting quince, you're getting mandarin orange. But then in the base, you get something that is dark and earthy and almost a little bit dank. There is a patchouli in this that is that quintessential patchouli. So if you have kind of a fun, funky hippie mom, I think that she would really vibe with this. And then beyond the skanky patchouli, you're getting some warm, dark, ambery quality coming from some benzoin, a little bit of vanilla, but this also has a nice molecular dry down coming from some ambroxan. Starts off tangy and spicy, becomes fruity, then becomes dank, then becomes resinous. It's a multifaceted character for a multifaceted mom. Next is a fragrance that I've had in my collection for quite some time, but I don't feel like I've given it enough shine. Therefore, it is my fragrance of the day, and that is Sacred Water by The Harmonist. So for those of you whose moms ever wore this fragrance right here, L'Eau de Izzy by Izzy Miyake, this is going to be your upgrade. They're both fresh, aquatic floral fragrances that are going to be reminiscent of a really good day at the spa off of a beach. This is going to open up with a little bit of tang coming from some ginger and citrus, but this oddly enough has the note of seaweed. Now I don't want you to think gross, fishy ocean water, scrub that out of your mind entirely, but I want you to think of delicately salted white florals. Think of an ocean breeze. And the florals that you're going to get in this are perfectly balanced. They're both robust and delicate. So you have magnolia and you have orange blossom, giving a distinctly floral feel without being too heavy. And then in the base, we have an ambergris, a cedar, and an amorous that gives it a little bit of a dry warmth and a really, really long-lasting feel. To me, this comes off very effortlessly elegant. There's something very chic yet very classy about this fragrance. It's understated while still being very long-lasting and having a lot of presence, but will remind you of a really high-quality spa. So if your mom ever wore things like L'Eau de Izzy or Aqua di Gio, this would be a really good upgrade. Now this next fragrance might be a little bit of a risk, but I've really warmed up to it lately, so I thought I would include it in this list, and that is Airbook Gold by Xerjoff. I adamantly detested Herba Pura, and so I was really hesitant when this flanker came around. I thought there is no way I'm going to like it. But this is a unique fragrance because this is fruity, very, very musky, but also has a warm and spicy quality to it, which is kind of an odd three combination. The fruitiness is coming from some pear, but also a distinct note of melon, giving it this juicy, delicious sweetness. Then the spiciness is coming from some cardamom and clove. So I thought that was a really odd combination, but somehow it works. Now this most definitely still has that beast mode white musk, but unlike the original, it doesn't have that weird metallic, synthetic, sharp sort of feel, but the musk in here is made much softer with some vanilla and some warm amber. So it's fruity and juicy, yet abundantly musky, but then has a warm, spicy dry down. Bizarre, a risk, but worth it. Now this last one I've saved specifically for last because this might be the riskiest of all. But if you have a mom who is a badass, who takes no, this one I would be very happy to get myself. And that is 100 Silent Ways X by Nishan. This is an absolutely delicious combo of peach and a creamy tuberose, a powdery iris that lays atop a bed of a vanillic, smooth, suede-like leather. There is also a patchouli in this that gives it a bit of an earthy, gritty sort of feel. So this is a bold, warm, and robust white floral that feels very womanly, but then has a little bit of an animalic undertone. This right here is for a badass woman. If your mom is a risk taker, if she's got a bold personality, this is going to be for her. Those other fruity florals cannot compete. This one right here, that little touch of leather and patchouli, really sets it off and takes it to the level of femme fatale. Fruity floral with leather and vanilla and a little bit of a gritty patchouli undertone. So I hope that you guys were able to find some fragrances that you'll consider for Mother's Day. I tried to give a big variety because, like I said, it is very subjective, but I tried to pull from every little corner, whether it be aquatic or floral or gourmand. There's a little bit something for everybody. And once again, want to say a special thank you to Maxaroma for sponsoring today's video. And just as a reminder, all of these fragrances are going to be available on the landing page that's going to be linked down below. And don't forget about our special little discount and the 2-day free shipping for those of you who like to wait till last minute. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next Saturday, 10 a.m. PST. And until then, you know what to do. Take care of yourselves, my friends.